Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. Last time we finished up level 4, Dungeon 4, whatever you want to call it, and today we're going to start making some progress on some slight overworld stuff, kind of get everything set up for Dungeon 5 coming up in the near future. But there is, as I said last time, there is something I want to do before I go to Dungeon 5. And I'll probably be covering that in the next video. But anyway, we have some stuff to do. We have this ghost following us, and he's being very insistent about taking us, or us taking him, to the house at Martha's Bay. This is actually, I think, the closest point to get there right now, so we're gonna just follow this path down here, as opposed to warping anywhere else. Yeah, honestly, I just feel like this is the fastest way at this point, just in terms of where we currently are at the moment. But we'll definitely see some good use of the song we learned in the last video as well, the Mambo's Mambo. It's very helpful in kind of getting around this world. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and dive down here for another heart piece. Not quite at a new container just yet, but we are getting there. So as you can see from the top right of the screen here, this is the next dungeon, Dungeon 5. However, we can't actually enter this dungeon yet because the ghost is following us, and if we ever try to enter a dungeon, he will complain, and as a result, we cannot actually make any forward progress. So, we do have to take him home. He can be a little annoying when he just kind of, talks all the time and makes those little sounds. But I will say, he's not as annoying as he was in the original game, where basically every transition you made, every screen transition, he made a very weird noise. So thankfully that's gone. So over here, got another secret seashell, so gonna grab that. And there is another one, as you probably saw when we were diving for that piece of heart a moment ago. There's actually one over here. So let's go ahead, get out our shovel, and dig this one up. Or we don't even need to dig it, it's right there. Perfect. So what does that put us up to? We're up to 27. 27! So we're up to 27 right now, which is a pretty good number. Also, nice little warp point right here. Wish I would have gotten that earlier to make this a little bit faster, but we couldn't have gotten like the seashell and heart pieces or anything, so, overall not too bad that we're just now getting it. And of course, once again, I swear, running and jumping on that first go is always a lot tougher than you think it would be. Here, enter my house. Okay, so this is the ghost's house, apparently. What do we got inside said house? Looks like we got some broken floors, a spider web. Things don't look so well in here. Nostalgia, unchanged. Love how that's just the noise I made for crying right there. Enough, cemetery. Take me, my grave. Before we do, let's ransack the place and get this secret seashell. Sorry, buddy. Sorry you had to witness that, but can't help it. I'm kind of on a clock right now. Not like a time limit, but there is a clock involved. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and grab Mambo's Mambo, and he says he wants to go to his grave. So naturally, yeah, we'll just go to the cemetery, right? There's a lot of graves there. Well, actually, that's not where his grave is, but it's still essentially close to where it is, so we're gonna still pretty much head in that direction regardless. For a minute I thought the ghost, like, went away, but I was like, wait, he doesn't go away when you warp? That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so his grave is actually that grave we saw earlier. The one that's just kind of, like, over here chilling. So we're gonna go over here and take him back. Ah, he's happy. Thank you. A jar for you. Put something inside. Bye-bye. Now, in the original game, he actually gave you a hint that there was a secret seashell in his house, and I think that seashell didn't appear until you actually did this quest. In this game, you can actually get that done beforehand. As far as what he's talking about here, he gives you a second bottle, so hooray for that. We can now store another fairy if we need. And Mr. Owl has returned. Hoot! It's been some time since our paths crossed, lad. You must dive into the waters of Martha's Bay to enter the catfish's maw. The closer you get to the windfish, the more restless he sleeps. Carry onward, Hoot! Well, good for him. Good for him, because honestly, not really on my agenda at this current point in time. I have other things to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and use Mambo's Mambo really quick. I think I'm gonna once again go to the Seashell Mansion. Yeah, I think this is what I want to do. We're gonna very quickly go back to the Key Cavern. Not inside the Key Cavern, mind you, but there is something we can do on the outskirts of the Key Cavern that I want to make sure we take care of before I get too far away from everything. I love how that guy just perfectly jumped over me. So yeah, over here you may have noticed there is a bush. Let's go ahead, chop it down, grab a seashell, and that's it. That's all I had to really get, so did not take me very long at all. So let's go ahead and warp once again. I'm actually getting through this stuff very, very quickly. So let's actually go to, yeah, Animal Village. For a minute, I thought Animal Village was like right here, but then it's like, wait, then why is it uncovered? We've been there, but no, it's down here on kind of the southern end. But yeah, we are gonna go back to the village very quickly to take care of a couple of other small things we can do now. I always forget which house this is. This is the one we want. So we have a goat here. And she does have a nice little vase right here to put something. We do have something that she could put in that vase. Oh, you brought me a hibiscus? How sweet. Well, since you are such a gentleman, I have a request to make of you. Will you listen? Yes. I would like you to take this letter to a Mr. Wright who lives on the border of the mysterious forest, please. Ooh, it's a love letter. You traded a hibiscus for a goat's letter. Great. Yeah, I guess Link wasn't too thrilled with that find. I mean, I guess the letter's not really for us, so we can't really use it. We could have maybe used the hibiscus for something, I suppose, but, you know, a letter addressed to someone else isn't exactly our thing here. So Mr. Wright, he lives up here in this house, so again, you can kind of take your pick of which entryway to take. I'll just go to Mambo's. I think it's just a little bit faster with less stones to pick up along the way. Take that, everybody. Take that, everybody. Link is here. And here we are, back at Mr. Wright's. So let's go inside. And... oh my god, it's the mayor from Sim City. What are you doing here? What's this? A letter for me? I'm so happy! And look, the letter came with a photograph. Ah! Game, don't scare me like that. You know how I feel about seeing that. Also, that's not that's not the goat. She's so beautiful. I must give you something for your trouble. Well, it looks like all I have is this broom. How will that be? Yeah, might as well, I guess. So yeah, you got a broom as your reward for Mr. Right, but that photo was not... I love how the game actually makes mention of that. The game is self-aware now, and I love it. Okay, so we got that. Let's go ahead and turn that in. I want to... This is always confusing. I don't know the trigger for this and what actually changes her location. But the broom actually goes to the crazy broom lady that's normally in Maid Village, but sometimes she's in Animal Village. And I don't know what, like, triggers that. Okay, she's not in Animal Village now, so that means she is still in Maid Village, but she definitely comes to Animal Village sometimes. If anyone has an idea of what exactly decides that, maybe it's something you have to do after Dungeon, like, 5. Maybe that's when she moves to the Animal Village. But I honestly do not know. I'm just making sure I got that one seashell, which I did. No worries. So yeah, we're actually taking care of quite a bit of the trade quest in this video, which is good. Once we finish Dungeon 5, we're actually going to be technically done with that, so... We're definitely getting there. Okay, so here's the crazy broom lady, as I call her. That's such a not a great name for her, but whatever. Yahoo! Yahoo! A new broom? For me, it is, isn't it? Yes. Okay, in return, you can have this fishing hook I found I swept by the riverbank. How are you sweeping the... Whatever. You exchange the broom for the fishing hook. What will the fishing hook become? Yeah, so even the game's becoming self-aware that, like, it knows we're not going to have that for long. So once again, let's go ahead and warp. Again, having Mambo's Mambo is just very, very helpful. We're just kind of just going all over the map now and just getting everything very quickly. We are kind of going back and forth in a lot of respects, but, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. So, we're going to go back to Animal Village again, not because the fishing hook is used here. I also just kind of want to see you again. Please don't ever forget this. You said that last time, and I already told you I never will. I've never forgotten you since the very first time I played this game. Okay, so before I turn in the fishing hook, we're going to go back over here to check out this cave, because remember, there was a piece of heart in here, and we're going to grab that while we're just kind of in the area, I guess. So once again, let's dive, grab this, and our maximum health has increased again. We're up to 12 hearts. 8 more to go, and when you consider the fact that we have 4 dungeons left, that's going to take care of 4 of the containers right there. I think we have only 12 pieces of heart left, and there's also an additional container as well, but I'll talk about that when it becomes relevant. So we're going to go back into this giant pool of water. We're on the other side of the next dungeon, as I already showcased earlier. There is a seashell here, but we can't quite get it yet. Instead, we're going to go down here to this bridge. And looks we have another fishing man over here. Let's talk to him. Do I actually need to get... I guess I need to get out of the way. I mean, I guess that would make sense. Oh, what is that you have in your hand? It's not a fishing hook, is it? You had better let me have it. I'll give you my next catch if you let me have it. Okay. Keep your eyes open and watch a pro at work. My, that's a big one! The fishing hook became a necklace. Lucky. Yeah, I guess that is pretty lucky. Hooray for necklaces. So we're actually not going very far with this necklace. As you can see, there's a girl over here, a mermaid, to be in fact. And if you talk to her before, you'll actually find out that she is missing a necklace. So let's go ahead and talk to her next. Ah, that's it. That's my necklace. Give it. Give it back. I will give you a scale, as I said. Sure. Promise, you'll only take one. You returned the necklace and got a scale of the mermaid's tail. How will you use this? Well, unfortunately, we cannot use it right now, so we are officially done with the trading quest at this current point in time. And that scale is pretty much the last part of the trading quest, too, to an extent. Again, I'll discuss that stuff later. One thing I want to mention, just kind of a fun fact for that mermaid. In other versions of the game, it wasn't a necklace she was missing. It was actually her swimsuit, which is why you can only really see her head above the water. I think they changed that in this version and all other versions from there on out. Like, obviously they changed it for the American original version because it was a scale in that game, but it actually was a swimsuit in some of the other versions, so... Yeah, kind of interesting, but... makes sense. That's something a mermaid would really want to find, I imagine. So yeah, there we go. That's it for the trade quest for now. I mentioned a seashell over there we can't get now. We actually can get it now, but I'll just get that later when we're in that area, since... That last seashell would give me a reason to go back to the seashell shrine, though, but, yeah, I'll just wait on that. So we have some time to kill. I could go to the trendy game, but let's go to the other kind of ongoing quest and take care of that, or take care of some of that. Let's actually go to Dampe's shack and maybe create a dungeon or two while we're here. And then after we do a few of these, then I'll probably end the video, and then I'll start talking about what you can expect next time. So let's go ahead and talk to Dampe. We also have a chamber stone we can give him as well, which will also give us something unique. Hey there, company is always welcome. You look like you've been through a lot. Sit down and tell me about it. So here you're just kind of telling him about all the dungeons you've been into, and you'll get new rooms from all the new dungeons you visited. Huh? That's quite the tale. Oh, you got a new chamber stone? Let me make that into a chamber for you real quick. You got some new chambers. Slot them into the dungeon to see what's inside. What are you here for? So let's go ahead and arrange a dungeon or two. We'll just go down the list here. So we've already done Dungeon Arranging 101. Let's go to Placing the Basics. See those tiles with treasure chests and locked door marks? That's where you put chambers that have stuff in them. You get keys to open locked doors out of treasure chests. Be sure you place enough chests to make through. Sad to see an adventurer run out of keys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this one. You always need an entrance in a nightmare's lair. That's the basic rule of chamber dungeons. Some tiles have treasure chests or locked door marks. When you see one of those, you gotta put a chamber on it. That's what it wants. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of cut here, because I don't want to have to, like, show you guys every single bit of these. You guys, I'm sure, get the gist of what you kind of have to do for these. So I'll just kind of go ahead and cut to basically the finish of this. Okay, I'm actually back. Made a pretty simplistic dungeon right here. Obviously, like, it needed like a locked door chamber here. It needed 2 treasure chests here. So I just kind of did like a simple, let's go up a little bit, get some treasures along the way, open this, and we have basically that one room from the key cavern that's like a 4-way passage, and that also leads to the boss too. So yeah, just a very, very simple design here. Normally for these challenges, you just want to do a very simple design and not worry about, going overboard with it too much. Especially if you just want to kind of complete these very quickly. which is normally the goal, especially if like you aren't actually like serious about creating like a very long-winded and interesting dungeon. But you do have that option if you so choose. Let's see, got 2 small keys. Also gotta destroy you guys to open the door. And we even have this room too. It is kind of cool seeing like a lot of these like different rooms from, you know, different parts of the game kind of meshing together in one kind of, maybe not super dungeon, but just kind of a bit of a mismatch of everything else in the game. And keep in mind, Dampe also gives you some new rooms to try out as well, so you don't have to feel like restricted to just, you know, the ones that you've made, or the rooms that you found throughout the game. This is the seashell chest in the level 1, the Tail Cave. Only got 5 rupees though. Ouch. Whoops, did not mean to run into that door. Oh, I killed the thing, but then fell down anyway. So there we go, there's the Nightmare Key, last chest in the dungeon, so all we have to do now is just very quickly exit this. Go up here. And we got Moldorm. Honestly, Moldorm is the boss you always want to use for these. I hate being lazy, but like, Moldorm is easy. He only takes like a few hits. May as well just use him, honestly. Actually, for the sword we have right now, or the equipment we have right now, it's 2 slashes and a spin attack, but still a very quick boss. So we completed placing the basics. The basics have been placed. And Dampe is going to give us a little reward, just a chamber, so we can use that for other dungeon rooms now. Watching you down there gave me an idea for a new challenge. It's ready whenever you want it. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. Again, as I pretty much showed earlier, I'm just going to show like really just the basics for this. I'm not going to get too in-depth with these designs, but I will cut out all of the unnecessary placing and everything. So next up we have a passage across. You can't place chambers on those light gray tiles to the upper right. The only way to reach those tiles is with chambers that have stairs. That's what this challenge is about. You'll learn how to use stairs to cross long distances, or you'll fail. One of the two. Okay, let's try it now. But yeah, literally for these challenges, I say just go the bare minimum. It's the quickest way to do it, in my own honest opinion. And remember, you can't necessarily skip treasure chests while you're doing this. You want to make sure that you still get all the treasure chests along the way, because no matter what, the last chest you open will always be the Nightmare Key. So yeah, just make sure that you're going through everything and grabbing all the chests along the way. Even if you make it like such a simplistic design like this. And see, here's a cool thing. I didn't get to show this off yet, so I'll go ahead and show it off now. But we have Mambo's song. Let's use that and warp the beginning of the dungeon, just to make this a little faster. I think it's technically like less transitions doing this as opposed to walking back, so may as well, right? And sure enough, we are at the boss. Hey, it's Moldorm again. Can we actually get the quick kill if we get him again? I don't even know if I hit him right there. Okay, we did. So you actually only need 2 spin attacks from Moldorm, so really an easy boss. So there we go, a passage across is clear. I might as well just do the last one of this set. And he's going to give us another chamber stone, or another chamber, rather. chambers are made from chamberstone. But yeah, those are, again, basically just new rooms you can put in your dungeons, in addition to the rooms that you've kind of used throughout the game. So let's go to fill up your hearts. This one's going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and read this up here. It's up to you to what chambers you use and how to arrange them. Just make sure you fill up every single tile in that heart shape with a chamber. Mind how you go connecting these exits and stairs now, though. So yeah, this one will take a little more work to do, but still shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so yeah, this one took a little more time to do, just because, like, when you think about it, we only have, like, 4 of the dungeons added to this dungeon maker right now. When I initially did this, I actually had, like, every single dungeon, so it was a lot easier to make this because there were more options. So I had to be a little more clever. I didn't have a lot of, like, 3-door entrances, which I really wanted to make use of here. And I even had to use some of the secrets, like, unlockable, like, chamberstone chambers as well, so that should make this kind of interesting. I'll just try to blow through this really quickly, and after this I will probably end the video, and then I'll start discussing what we're going to be doing for the next video, because the next video is going to be kind of interesting, because we're going to a dungeon. We're just not going to go to the same dungeon that we think we're going to go to. Let's go ahead and grab that key. Guess what? The key opens a locked door. Bet you never knew that. Oh, shit. Come on, Link. Oh. Okay, so I'm used to Link going back to the beginning of a room whenever he falls in a pit, not just the last square he was at. So I blame Link to the Past for that. Not to mention, I think the original Link's Awakening also did that too, which is, again, kind of weird. So before I go north, I also need to go back this way too, because I have another chest in here. And I think it's actually kind of funny that I mentioned, like, Link to the Past because of randomizer and everything. I want to say they may be, and again, I don't know that for 100% certainty, because again, I don't, like, I'm not a developer of the randomizer or anything. But it's kind of neat how I think in this particular, like, dungeon maker, they do actually kind of shuffle the rooms around, or at least the treasures around. Like, they randomly put the treasure chests, or the keys and stuff in treasure chests, but they put them in a way where, like, you can't get soft locked. So I imagine they kind of use, like, the same type of logic that would be used in Randomizer, for example. So that's kind of the big thing about Link to the Past Randomizer, is that everything is randomized in a way where you can still beat the game. So basically, like, if there's, like, a small key that you need to open a door, like, they're going to make sure you have every capability of getting that small key before they actually, like, place it in, like, the wrong place or something. That's why in non-key sanity modes of Randomizer for Swamp Palace, the first chest is always a small key, because if it's not a small key, you can't get into the dungeon. Look at me showcasing my Randomizer nerdiness. I love Randomizer, guys. I can't help it. It's fun. If you have fun playing something, then that's good. Keep playing it. Okay, so we're about done. We just have a couple more rooms to go through, and we have a lot of keys, so we shouldn't get key locked or anything. See, here's the room that I call the Key Cavern Suite. Because it's the four-way room in the Key Cavern. I'm actually surprised they brought this room back. But again, remember the basics. Always make sure you open all the chests when you're doing these challenges, just so you don't miss anything along the way. And don't have to backtrack for it. That's the most important thing. The last thing you want to do is backtrack all the way to the very beginning of a dungeon because you missed like one random chest on the outside. Come on, go away. Oh, I want to say this is actually a new room that was added, like one of the chambers that Dompe gave us. That's kind of cool seeing that. Staircase. Did I have another staircase? I had to have, otherwise it wouldn't have let me connect this. That's kind of weird. let me try it just for fun. Oh, right, this is the Moldorm room. I almost forgot about that. Because, yeah, once again I picked Moldorm. Maybe for one of the chambers I'll pick a different boss, maybe, but I'm kind of waiting till I get something before I do that. Okay, so that's going to do it for that dungeon, and we're probably going to be a little over time. I tried to cut out as much as I could while making this section, but still, no guarantee that it's going to really be that short anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the first set of challenges from Dampe. We get a seashell for this one, which is interesting, and we also get a piece of heart. So, you know, he doesn't just give you chambers; he also gives you some other rewards too. So definitely be on the lookout for those. He's still got some other challenges for us as well, and I guess just to kind of showcase this really quick. So now that we've completed like the first set, there is a second set now, where again he has some more challenges for us to do. This is also where you can like save potential dungeons for later. But there are some challenges that won't open up until you beat certain dungeons in the main game. So keep that in mind. You can also go to the adventure mode where you can take on some other challenges, I believe, or maybe these are the... Oh no, these are the ones we made, so never mind. Okay, I guess I was thinking of something else. So yeah, if you get to a point where you don't have any more challenges, if you do want to kind of work on this as you go throughout the game, just come back after you beat a dungeon or two, and then more should open up after the fact. So yeah, with that, I think I am going to go ahead and stop here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time when we take on another dungeon. Which dungeon, though? You'll have to come back and find out. See you guys then.